morning. It is a very chilly morning here in Nairobi and its environs. And if you're in Nairobi, you're really feeling it right now, especially those who are supposed to get work early in the morning. It has been raining and raining since 5 a.m. in the morning. For the early risers, you understand what I'm talking about. But if you're still in bed, if you're still in the house, that is the situation outside your compound or outside your house. It is raining, and right now it is calming down. The rains are coming down, and it's a perfect weather for you to move out if you are supposed to move out. This is Biashara Tuesday. Thank you so much for choosing Biashara Tuesday this morning. And this is KUTV Rise Today, where we are always pleased to have you on board. And specifically on Tuesday, it is a day where we help you understand entrepreneurship. We help you get to know business secrets. We help you get to understand how the businesses work. We get you to meet experts in the industry, those in the digital space, those in the finance, those in leadership, all around. It is an all-round show where we help you make yourself a better businessman or a better businesswoman. This majorly is influential mostly to youths because we help you have the right skills to build your startup businesses, to develop your ideas just from the idea stage to actualizing it, helping you know where and how to get funding. So this is a show for you and everyone. You can always tag your friend, you can always tag your mom, tag your dad, whether it is a business that has been in operation for the last, mention it, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, or 1 month. This is a show for you. And this morning, just before I tell you what the discussions we'll be having this morning, just a quick mention. This in Kenya right now, 35% of the population is between the age of 15 and 35. That means that is a very big chunk of our population that is of the youth, and this contributes to 67% of unemployment in the country. So that means that as a youth, you ought to think about how to begin a business or how to employ yourself rather than how to get employed. And why am I saying this? In every graduation you're going, there are more than 10,000 graduates every year in a single university. That is if it's a big university like Kenyatta University. And in a single year, the number of people who are graduating to go to the job market are so many. But if you look at the number of people who are retirees, very little. Like most of them are not even going for retire. You get to an office, someone amepunguza miaka, someone looks 70, but if you look at their official documents, it's 52, 55. And productivity is getting low in the corporate spaces, that is especially. So that means that as a youth, you need to think outside the box. I'm not saying that university education is waste. I'm saying in campus, you need to think outside the box. You need to think of, I am doing engineering, I'm in tech, I'm doing agriculture, I'm an education expert. Which business can I open to help me thrive in this? I'm in media. Where can I channel my energy and these skills to employ myself and also employ others? I'm doing catering. I'm in hospitality industry. Where can I channel my skills and build a business for myself? So that is a conversation that we need to be having as a country and take responsibility as a youth. Of course, we will have to blame the government for a number of things, but first it needs to come from us, where we think of ways on how we are going to improve our livelihood. And that brings me to a recent partnership between Kenyatta University and Lancaster University in the United States. So in the United Kingdom, that is UK. So Kenyatta University is currently implementing the following projects in partnership with Lancaster University, that is in the UK. That is gender equality for employability through entrepreneurship in STEM project funded by the British Council, and the second project is the International Career Writing Program, ICWP, funded by the British Academy. So what are the roles of these two projects? It began yesterday. Yesterday was the first day of the workshop. Today is the second day of the workshop, and it's taking place in Kenyatta University, BSSC building, room 12. This is where it has brought university students across Africa, and stakeholders, of course, and they're coming together to come up with ways of empowering young people. If you're in campus, this is your chance. Today is a day where projects shall be presented on how to help young people know how to get the right skills to get into the market. And let me just give you a quick data on career mismatch, on what is happening currently in our job markets. In 2018, a survey revealed that 64% of university graduates in Kenya lacked essential skills sought by employers, such as critical thinking and problem-solving abilities. This is a very big, a very huge number, 64%. That means that someone goes to school, someone goes to class, attends all classes for the 4 years, 6 years, or 7 years for the medicine students. And after completing the course, graduating, when they're going to the job market, they have zero skills on what is in the market. And this is forcing employees to come up with training, mentorship in the workplace. And internship are always the second school. You'll get that if you're in any industry and you've been in that industry for a while, you'll notice that when an intern comes to your workplace, you have so much to teach them from the basics. Because most of, let's call it ignorance from students also, because some, you've had this should I say it's a meme, where during graduation period you hear people saying, I don't know the units I did, but nime graduate. Someone saying that thanks to ChatGPT, I graduated. Thanks to the YouTube guy, that is for those doing chemistry, physics, and biology, thanks to the YouTube guy, I graduated. And there is a career mismatch in terms of skills. What you get in class and what is needed when you get to the market. Totally different things. And that's why these two projects are brought in Kenyatta University to help you understand what is in the market and what is in class, to help you connect the two. What you're learning in class, for example, if you're in media, you're learning about camera operation. You get to understand how is this relevant in the marketplace, how is it applicable. So that is the relevance of this program or this workshop, which you need to attend as a young person. You'll also get to meet mentors in various fields, from various backgrounds. So it is a networking opportunity for you also as a young person. And also, just to help you understand also about what is needed for you as a young person in terms of skill set, this is the Kenyatta University public lecture, which will be taking place on the 28th, that is on Friday. That is on Friday this week, 28th of March 2025. Kenyatta University will be hosting a public lecture with the theme reimagining the future, reimaging the future of higher education in Kenya for a sustainable learning ecosystem. And the guest speaker will be Professor Raphael Munavu, hosted by Professor Washeke Wanjohi, who is the Vice Chancellor Kenyatta University. And this is also, Kenyatta University has been having several public lectures, and this one specifically is reshaping the image of higher educations in a way that it is sustainable to you as a student, in a way that if you're going to school, what you're going to learn, how is it going to be relevant in the next 10 years? How is it relevant right now? What can be done better? So this is something that you also cannot fail to miss. It will be taking place from 10 a.m. That is on Friday this week at Kenyatta University Amphitheater. And also it will be live on Kenyatta University Television. So if you can't make it to Kenyatta University, make sure you also catch it live on KUTV. That is on Friday the 28th of March 2025. Now, something interesting also that we are going to have this morning. Now, let me bring you back to Biashara Tuesday. We've talked about so many things that are happening around Kenyatta University and that can be beneficial to you. But right now, where you are at home, what is beneficial to you this morning? Why are you up this morning with us? This is the reason. This morning we are having a conversation on leveraging social media for business impact. And with us in studio we'll be having Ida Arunga, founder, Paida Outfits. And let me tell you why this discussion is very important or very significant this morning. Ida Arunga is a content creator. And she is not just a content creator who dances on TikTok, who goes live. Many content creators go live for Moshene. Don't get me wrong, don't get offended, but this is, Ida is doing something different with TikTok. She is leveraging TikTok to make herself. She has made TikTok her market, getting clients from TikTok, from her live, and advertising her products. That is her mitumba business. She has belts she sells. She sells a variety of items from rompers to bed sheets to kids wear to everything. So she does this together with her family, and they have made it fun. In as much as she's dancing, she's also using that platform to market her products. TikTok does not pay, but she has found a way of making money from TikTok. So she'll be telling us how she went about, discovered what she can do in TikTok, what is keeping her strong or what is keeping her relevant each and every day, the challenges she is facing, and also helping you understand how you can harness TikTok for your benefit. So that is a discussion we'll be having this morning. You can't fail to catch that with us. You can't leave us alone as we have that discussion. And also, another interesting discussion we'll be having this morning is mathematics in education. As a teacher of mathematics, and you have had those people who love mathematics throughout social media saying that in my house, mathematics will be compulsory, shall be compulsory. So in the recent days, in the recent past, we've had the proposal to squash or to remove mathematics from being a compulsory subject. Growing up, all of us have grown up knowing mathematics, English, and Swahili are compulsory subjects. But right now, I don't know if it's relief or if it's a loss for the upcoming generation. The proposal to make mathematics a subject that you can choose. You can decide, mimi sifanyi hesabu, I am not doing mathematics. So that is a discussion we'll be having this morning. How important is mathematics in education? How important is it in your daily life? How important is it in your business? Or is it just a myth? Sometimes people say, you hear someone say that shamirisho kipozi imekusaidia nini right now in your life? Or you hear someone say fasihi, how is it helping you right now in life? Or you hear someone say, who is the persona? How is that helping you right now in your life? But in mathematics, it is a matter of multiplication, addition, subtraction. So someone can ask you, how is calculus helping you right now in life? How is longitudes and latitudes helping you right now in life? So this is something that we are going to have a discussion from as a teacher of mathematics. I believe that it is something that helps you be a critical thinker. I don't know about you, you will share your comments with us on our social media platforms. We are live on YouTube at KUTV Kenya. So you can also share with us your feedbacks on what you think about this. How do you feel about mathematics? Is it helpful in day-to-day life, or is it not? Is it exaggerated? Do we need mathematics, or is it just something that is overpraised, or is it something that is overrated? So that is a discussion we will be having this morning. Also, we will have the newspaper review. We will be looking at what is happening in the country, from politics to governance, to the social issues in our community right now. So you need to stay tuned. We have lots and lots of information packed up for the next 2 hours. But right now, let's take a look at what is happening on the roads and the weather. Now, what is happening on our roads and what is the weather situation in our surrounding? So this morning, let me just give you a quick overview of what the Kenya Meteorological Department is saying. Weather outlook from the 25th to 31st March 2025, that is from today to next week. Rainfall continues over several parts of the country, and isolated heavy rainfall expected in central highlands, western Kenya, Lake Victoria Basin, Rift Valley, southeastern lowlands, coast, northeastern and northwestern Kenya. So this is most part of the country will be experiencing rainfall. Will be experiencing isolated rainfall, and that means that at one point you're having heavy downpours, at the other point you're having manyunyu, drizzles. So that is what will be happening in most part of the country. That's the western Kenya, Lake Victoria Basin, Central Highlands, Rift Valley, southeastern lowlands, coast, northeastern and northwestern region. And also daytime temperatures above 30 degrees Celsius in coast, northeastern and northwestern Kenya. So that is expected because, you know, these are areas where temperatures are always high. We quite expect that to happen. And nighttime temperatures below 10 degrees Celsius in central highlands and central Rift Valley. So this is ile weather nyewe anasema weather for two. But right now, this is just a by the way. If you're planning to have your child on Christmas, this is the time. This is the time. On Christmas, specifically on Christmas, or that week between 25th of December to 1st of January 2026. This is your time to shine because, you know, hata weather imekubali. And if we look at specifically the weather situation in Nairobi right now, it has been raining from 5 a.m. in the morning. Right now, imetulia kidogo, and the temperatures are 18 degrees Celsius. Feels like it. We'll be expecting more rainfall. The weatherman says we should expect more rainfall. That is from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. today. So if you are thinking, oh, mvua ishanyesha, let me not carry my umbrella. No. Especially if wewe ni wa kupanga line, utanyeshewa ukingoja kuingia kwa gari. So just carry that umbrella with you and walk with it. It's not going to be a burden today because there is 70% chance of rainfall. That is specifically at 5 p.m. today. That is in Nairobi. The weatherman says it will be temperatures of around 30 degrees Celsius in Mombasa. And if we look at it right now, it is 28 degrees Celsius. Feels like 32 degrees Celsius. And in Mombasa today, they're expecting rainfall from midnight. That is from midnight. So should we count it as today? But still, they will be expecting rainfall from midnight. Chances of rain is at 30 degrees Celsius. Looking at the weather situation in Kitale, I wouldn't forget to mention people from Kitale. You know, I come from Kitale also by association. So it is 16 degrees Celsius, and it feels like 16 degrees Celsius, so it feels like it, and it's likely to rain from around 1 p.m. You know, something interesting about Kitale is if it begins raining, hakuna jokes, it is raining. There is nothing like it a drizzle kidogo and then it stops. So it is the right time for planting for people in Kitale. Or it's not the right time for planting. People are already planted. So right now, mimea inachipuka kutoka kwenye udongo. So it is they're expecting rainfall from around 1 a.m. today. Now let's take a look at the weather situation in Kisumu. It is 21 degrees Celsius, feels like 24 degrees Celsius. And in Kisumu today, there is 20% chances of rainfall. That is from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the evening, 20% of rainfall. So it may or it may not. That is 20% chances of rainfall. And humidity at 85%, that is expected, because I keep mentioning here every now and then that it's because of convection. And last but not least, let's take a look at the weather situation in Nakuru. It is 16 degrees Celsius, feels like 16 degrees Celsius, feels like it. And they're expecting rainfall from 10 a.m. all the way to 7 a.m. and the higher chances are at 4 p.m. where the rainfall chances are at 70%. So what to Nakuru, it is a day where it will definitely rain. There is no doubt about it. So you can carry your umbrella with you. It will not be a luggage also. So that is on the weather, just to mention a few, because we can't mention every part of the country that is on the weather. And now let's take a look at what is happening on our roads. And because it has been raining in Nairobi, so we expect traffic to, we expect several snarl-ups across Nairobi, that is on the tributaries leading to town. And specifically to begin with, that is, let's begin with where we are right now. That is Thika Road. From TRM all the way to Muthaiga, snarl-ups here and there. So it is moving very slowly. That is from, if you're using Thika Road, if you're coming from Outer Ring Road and joining you want to join to Thika Road, please find alternative route. You can join Outer Ring, use Makadara Road and connect to Mombasa Road, or you can just find your way to town, but avoid Thika Road, because those people are also coming from Kiambu Road, the Muthaiga to Muthaiga interchange connecting towards town. It is also heavily packed. The movement is very, very slow. And people coming from the southern part of Nairobi, those using Langata Road, from Uhuru Gardens all the way heading to Mombasa Road, they're also snarl-ups, but on your end, it's moving. It's not like those people coming from Mombasa Road. And also, those people using Ngong Road, your way is quite, no. You also have a problem if you're coming from Ngong Road, from the Junction Mall all the way joining to Mombasa Road. It is not heavily packed as other roads leading to town. So you don't need to worry so much. So that is just a few of the ways leading to Nairobi CBD. And when it's raining in Nairobi, it's always expected. Everyone is angry. I don't know the reason why people get angry when it's the weather is chilly. Everyone gets gloomy. Everyone is rude on the road. So in as much as we all want to get to town, please be kind to each other as you are heading to town. And if things turn to worse, you can't bear or you can't keep up with those who are using the road with you. So make sure you tune in and connect with us as we help you move through this Nairobi situation, because we could be giving updates of other cities, but other cities, I doubt if they're always having snarl-ups like the way it is in Nairobi. So that is on the traffic update this morning. Coming up next is the news updates, so stay with us for that. Now, welcome back. This is the news update this morning, and the process of appointing a new chairperson for Kenya's Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission began officially yesterday. Among the first candidates to face the selection panel were Naivasha Court Judge Abdul Kadir Lorot and former Judiciary Registrar Ann Amadi, who were subjected to rigorous questioning. Our reporter Kida Kasim with more.
After nearly 2 years without a fully constituted electoral commission, the selection process for a new IEBC is now underway. This follows the end of the term of the former chairperson, the late Wafula Chebukati. The vetting of candidates officially kicked off today, with Abdul Kadir Lorot, a senior principal magistrate at the Naivasha Court, being the first to be interviewed. Lorot has served in the judiciary for 23 years, including as a judicial trainer.
The ethnic clashes, the threshold of genocide, or whether they met these variant thresholds of because there was displacement, there was murder, there was clear organization, there was all those things that fitted this billing. Then the next stage that we looked at were the perpetrators known. Fortunately, we had witnesses who testified before us, and from there we were able now to involve the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution to act on them, and charges were preferred.
Among the female candidates vying for the position is Ann Amadi, the former Judiciary Registrar. Last year, Amadi was linked to allegations involving a gold scam worth 100 million, in which she and her associates were accused of defrauding a British national. However, she strongly denied the claims. Given the opportunity to clarify her stance before the selection panel, she addressed the issue and explained her position.
The allegations are extremely serious. My response is that there was actually no reason for me to be in that case and named as the first respondent, because the firm that is involved, I resigned from it in 2014. And I was very busy in the judiciary. There was no time even to go and, get into any kind of practice. So for me, it was a malicious attack, and which is something that is, when you're in public service, you must be ready for. Public service at certain levels is not for the faint-hearted. So it was an attempt to shake me, an attempt to mudsling my reputation, because I've upheld my integrity. I do not have skills in gold trade, and I had nothing to do with it.
Amadi served as the Judiciary Registrar for a decade, since 2014, and retired last year. During her tenure, she presided over the swearing-in of two Kenyan presidents, former President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2013 and current President William Ruto in 2022.
Mr. President, please repeat after me. I.
Meanwhile, former East African Court of Justice Judge Charles Nyachai was questioned over the past allegation raised in a petition submitted by the public. However, Nyachai defended himself, stating that the accusations against him lacked sufficient evidence.
And that's all that it is, allegations. Whatever they talk about, they have really not given any substance, and I do not accept the allegations, and I think that's really, on that one, that's what I would say about it.
Another candidate interviewed today was Edward Katama. Candidates scheduled for interviews on Tuesday including Erastus Endung, Francis Kakai Kisinga, Jacob Ngwele, and Joy Brenda. The final candidates set to face the panel on Wednesday are Lilian Wanjiku, Robert Akumu, and Saul Simiyu. The appointment of 105 new IEBC commissioners will take place between March 26th and April 24th this year. Akida Kasim, KUTV.
Now, a shocking domestic tragedy unfolded in Magonga, Bomachoge, Borabu, where a husband allegedly killed his wife after a heated family dispute. The conflict reportedly fueled by land disagreements and substance abuse escalated to violence. The wife had voiced intentions of leaving the marriage before her tragic death. Helen Kiplagat narrates.
A man in Magonga in Kisii County is said to have allegedly killed his wife, Nathan Kegoa. The suspect sent his son Isaac Kegoa to tell his mother to close the family herbalist shop. Later he came back and informed his father that he had found her mother drunk at the shop and refused to go home. This angered the husband, who with the son went and forcefully brought her home before he started beating her and told the children not to intervene and chased them away. After he allegedly committed the inhuman act, Kegoa cleaned the body of his wife and disposed the blood in a hole within the compound.
Wakati wenye tulikuwa kwa nyumba, sisi alitufukuza akituambia tutoka hapo. Na wakati wenye alienda kuchukua mamangu, alisema ni hata nikichapa mama yenu msiingilie kati.
According to the deceased sister, Gladys Nyaboke, her sister had complained to her over the differences she had with the husband over his plans to sell a family piece of land.
Huyu dada yangu amekufa na ameuliwa na bwana yake. Alikuwa anamuuliza pesa, mbona anaenda mazishi mbali bila chakula. Sasa kenye kimenishangaza, wazee ndio wanaletea wanawake ama wanawake ndio wanaletea wazee. Huyu mwanaume amesumbua sisa yangu kwa muda sana. Kuna siku alitaka kuuza shamba, alikuwa anamkimbisha mbio na kukimbisha watoto. Tukazikizana na huyu kijana wake wa pili, tukarudisha hiyo shamba, alikuwa amebewa 80,000, huyu mwenye kunua akaungua. Mimi nachoka kutoka hapa Umanyanyamonga. Omonga majambazi wamejaa wengi. Bangi imejaa, pombe imejaa, kila kitu. Hapa imekuwa mchanganyiko. Watu hawaelewani, vita kila siku, watu wanauliwa.
Dada yangu akaniambia bila inataka kuhama kwa ile pombe. Hii msana nisumbua. Nikamuuliza waende waache yeye akikuwa mgonjwa, akikufa ndio utachua uchui. Ichichi hawezi kukupatia nafasi uingie. Kwa nini unataka kuenda? Akaniambia, anaanza kuniambia anataka kusongeza samba huko chini. Anataka kuuza sa.
Police and detectives from Kenya sub-county removed the body from the hidden hole and took it to Ogiambo sub-county hospital mortuary as investigation of the murder commences. Helen Kiplagat, KUTV.
Now, a section of residents in Maragua town and its environs in Murang'a County have lauded a stable water supply in the recent past owing to operationalization of a local dam. The residents argue that it is thanks to President William Ruto, who gave a directive that parts of Maragua constituency be connected with water by Murang'a Water and Sanitation Company, that is MUWASCO.
A tug of war over the mega dam is now back, and Maragua residents are calling for a stop of water politics, claiming that it might affect the smooth and frequent access of water. The administration of Murang'a Water and Sanitation Company has denied recent charges from certain quarters that MUWASCO is extracting water from the dam and distributing it to the people of the nearby Kiharu constituency.
Maragua Dam, we receive a lot of good water here in sufficient pressure, and the quality is very, very reliable nowadays since we got the company working with us now. We've had stories of people talking about our water is redirected to Kiharu. Kiharu is uphill, and if you are to take it there, you'll have to pump it up there. Water wouldn't go there. So all the water is flowing down. So it's not correct.
However, some people of Maragua town and the surrounding area have praised the recent operationalization of a nearby dam for providing a steady supply of water. Engineer Isaac Gitogo has refuted propaganda that claims the mega dam is being used to provide water to the people of Kiharu.
And we'd like it to continue, because prior to that we had very bad experience. Water will not flow everywhere, or if it does, it's by the time it's on the second row of the main road, it's very low pressure.
Lately, we've had lots of challenges with water in the school. We've not had enough water. We are forced to send our boys to the river to go and bathe there, to go and wash there, to go and draw water, even for cleaning here in school.
Murang'a South Water and Sanitation Company, which provides water to Kigumo, Kandara, and portions of Murang'a South sub-counties, was initially in charge of Maragua. One of the residents, Charles Wangombe, revealed that he moved into one of his homes in Maragua when Muwasco connected it with water, a night before when he had only access to water once in a week.
Let them come to the ground. Wacha wakuja kwa mtu kwangu na yule mwingine. Waseme, now we are now ready to provide water. Maybe that is sugar instead of salt. Siasa ya maji na mwananchi, wacha wapiganie viti na huko, if that is what they want. Wakitaka kugawa kisiasa hizi vitu zao Kandara na wapi na wacha wagawe, lakini maji wacha tupewe na wale watu wanaweza satisfy mwananchi. Kama vile sasa Muwasco inatupa maji.
Residents of Maragua are asking the president not to be tricked by people who might want to disrupt the water connections that the community already enjoys during his upcoming visit to Murang'a in the Mount Kenya region as a whole. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
The national and county governments have been reportedly hit hard by the ban on mining activities at Jaribuni quarries in Kauma sub-county, Kilifi County. According to Kilifi County Commissioner Joseph Biwott, the most affected projects include the construction of the Mombasa-Malindi Highway, Mtwapa Bridge, and other key development projects. Our very own James Baraka with the details.
Mining activities in the Jaribuni area, Kauma sub-county, Kilifi County have remained stranded for 3 weeks now, following the closure of the Jaribuni quarries, a move that has reportedly hit hard on the national and county government projects.
Projects in Coast Region, especially the roads, the major roads, the one for Kilifi, Nyali, you can see even the one going to the dual carriage to Mariakani, all the way even up to Kwale. The construction in Mtongwe, that is the one for Kenya Navy. All of them are disrupted.
We have suffered greatly because we're not able to transport ballast from Jaribuni to the sites. And there are critical areas that have not been able to be done. And we're actually fearing that the long rains may cause a critical section of the road to be cut out. And if that happens, then we'll be having a bigger problem. We've been having a stalemate over the last, I think, 1 month about transportation of material due to a public outcry about the public road that we are using in transporting the materials.
Leo tumekuwa na mkutano mzuri sana.
Speaking during a meeting with mining sector stakeholders, Kilifi County Commissioner Joseph Biwott indicated that 90% of construction materials in Lamu, Kilifi, Tana River and Mombasa counties come from Jaribuni, highlighting that the suspension of mining activities has stalled many projects.
Jaribuni is supplying over 90% of building materials in Coast Region. And for your information, imeongeza the price of 1 ton, the prices of kokoto, for almost 30%.
The ban was enforced by Mining, Fisheries, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs Cabinet Secretary Ali Hassan Joho 3 weeks ago after angered residents barricaded roads leading to the quarry sites over air and noise pollution from the mining and transportation activities.
Pale Jaribuni, hata watoto wa siku moja wanakohoa. Na haiwezi kuwa hivyo kila siku. Kwamba watu haribu barabara, wanaulizwa ni county. Watu wapatie watu mavumbi, hawezi kulala. Chakula kula pia Jaribuni pale lori ikipita kama nakula chakula, chote kinajaa vumbi. So unajua haiwezekani kwa hivyo.
However, Kilifi Governor Gideon Mongaro insisted that the ban will remain in place until all issues raised by the residents are addressed.
Tumekubaliana kwamba wote wale wafanyi mining pale wataomba leseni upya. Na nimeshamwagiza waziri wa county wa environment, kila mtu aliyechimba shimo atairestore. Lazima arudishe mazingira vile yalivyokuwa. Kama ni kupanda miti, kama nini, na kama mtu unatimbo na hujafanya yale masharti tumepewa na county, hata hatuta approve wewe kupewa license na Department of Mining.
On their part, the investors, through their representative Maxwell Odoyo, say that they were ready to tarmac the Disoni Jaribuni Road, and each investor had been allocated 1 kilometer, while the Kenyan National Highways Authority, KENHA, in whose docket the roads fall under, will supervise the works which are expected to commence on Monday.
The coming Monday, everything shall be sorted out.
James Baraka for KUTV.
Speaking at a sensitization exercise at Technology Primary School in Murang'a Town, Unilever East Africa's Anthony SYLVIA emphasized the value of instilling in kids a healthy oral hygiene habit at an early age in order to prevent several common dental diseases. According to SYLVIA, children as early as 9 years old may lose some of their primary teeth due to primarily due to poor dental hygiene practices. He noted that the largest obstacle to encouraging youngsters to exercise good dental hygiene is a lack of knowledge and positive examples of parents or guardians not practicing proper oral hygiene.
When we look at the landscape of oral hygiene in Kenya, we still see almost up to 90% of adults and children are suffering from different diseases and different oral hygiene issues. And a lot of it can be prevented if we have the right oral health hygiene habits, especially from when you're young. So brushing your teeth day and night can help prevent some of these diseases like dental cavities, gingivitis, bad breath, and then prevent even bigger diseases in the longer term view.
It's a gateway to your overall health. It has been proven, studies have proven that a lot of your general health is linked to your oral health. Yeah, diseases like cardiovascular diseases actually start from the mouth. Yeah, so bad bacteria in the mouth can be inhaled into your system and cause a lot of problems in your body, even including pneumonia. So emphasizing good oral health hygiene is not only just about the mouth, it's also about your general health.
And Kenyatta University, in collaboration with Lancaster University, are making strides in promoting gender equality for employability through entrepreneurship in STEM project and the International Career Writing Program. According to Professor Caroline Thurua, KU's DVC Research, Innovation and Outreach, more students are encouraged to join the initiative to enhance entrepreneurial thinking. Listen in.
In a bid to equip students and staff with entrepreneurial thinking skills, Kenyatta University, in partnership with Lancaster University, is championing gender equality and employability through entrepreneurship in STEM. According to Kenyatta University DVC for Research, Innovation and Outreach, Professor Caroline Thurua, entrepreneurial thinking is needed for both students and faculty members in various departments.
What we're looking forward to is having more students involved in this project, think of projects that they can solve. It's an opportunity to be trained on entrepreneurial thinking and working together to solve solutions and propose the way forward. The same thing with our staff. We would want to have more staff going through programs like this so that their approach to teaching can be very innovative and entrepreneurial.
Meanwhile, Professor Kirk Sample, Director of International Research at Lancaster University, underscored the critical role of gender equality in driving transformative change within education and employment sectors.
The issue of gender inequality is an issue in sub-Saharan Africa and university sector, but it's also an issue in the British university sector as well. So when you look at the demographic of males to females in academia, it's traditionally been dominated by males. The same thing applies here. So we saw this as a real opportunity to try and change it.
Dr. Akanimo Odon, African advisor for Lancaster University, highlighted how International Career Writing Program bridges the gap in academic publiships and societal impacts.
It increases the capacity for especially early career researchers to think about publication as a way of promotion of their work and output. It therefore means that beyond just the standard traditional publication of papers as a way to promote their output, you can also consider other non-scientific, in some sense, publications or output or communication outputs beyond just publishing papers. So like LinkedIn posts, publishing articles, writing policy briefs, this becomes crucial. Because at the end of the day, what you're trying to achieve is to get folks outside the academic circle to also try and connect with what you're trying to achieve.
Currently, 9 universities are participating in the GIS and ICWP projects, with more institutions expected to join in the future as they work towards fostering an entrepreneurial mindset among students and staff. Brenda Nyongesa, KUTV.
Now that is the news update this morning. Coming up next is the discussion we've all been waiting for this morning. Ida Arunga is in the building for a discussion on leveraging social media for business impact. I don't know if we should call her media messiah in terms of entrepreneurship, but we will get to know that after this break.
So my name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Naam, ungana nami ua lako linalonukia na kuvutia waridi tamu katika mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV. Katika toleo hili la Nairobi basi tarajia mambo makubwa sana. Kutakuwa na vyakula vya kipwani kama vile shawarma. Watu hawajui shawarma nini? Kuna biriani, kuna vyakula ambavyo vimepikwa na vikasukwa kwa kutumia nazi. Bila kusahau mazungumzo ya kusisimua na wataalamu waliobobea kwa mambo ya ndoa, mambo ya Uswahili basi, mambo ya mashairi.
Jamani swahibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Kosi kupata tarabu, chakacha, midundiko. Yani hapo ni pale ambapo viuno vinazungushwa kisawasawa na kubiringishwa ni kana kwamba havina mfupa kwenye mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV. Ukiwa nami waridi tamu, usikose matamu.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
The folks are going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni dunia ni leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
In Kenya, for example, the frequency of the floods is becoming more and worse. The amount of people and livestock we're losing.
The level we need to go is a level where the normal mwananchi and also the government stakeholders can uptake these solutions.
Those small acts multiplied by millions of us will help make a difference in the world at the end of the day.
It's just a slight behavior change that we need, and you'll find that it serves us a bit more than you put in, and that's the goal. We want to live a better world than we found, because at the rate we are going, it's dire.
We will secure the planet for future generations.
Imagine a world where you are empowered to take charge of your health, where you are well informed about the latest advancements in healthcare and understand the policies that impact your well-being. Get ready to take charge of matters your health as we bring you a blend of weekly health features that engage professionals from across various medical fields.
When do you decide as a patient, do I need to go see the doctor? We are at a stage where we are seeing all this manner of chronic illnesses, and we wait until we get a disease, and then is when we go ahead.
From the most mundane to the complexities that perhaps seem overwhelming, we got you covered.
In terms of the factors that might be attributed, there are hereditary factors that means it could be genetic, so that's one factor. But there are other factors as well, like nutritional deficiencies. So some vitamins such as folate have been identified to be a factor in those. So
our mission is to break down intricate health topics into understandable and actionable insights. Join me, Yvonne Kimuma, every Wednesday 9 p.m. on KUTV's News at 9, where your health is our priority.
Welcome back. Now, this is very interesting. We have all been waiting for this conversation where we are supposed to leverage on social media to improve ourselves or to improve our market reach out. So with me this morning in studio, Aida akona sisi hapa. Thank you so much, Aida, for making time for us this morning.
Sana.
You know, I have been looking at what you do online. It is very impressive. Like inafurahisha.
Asante.
Inafurahisha masha. Alafu when nikikuangalia in person and the person I see on social media, ni watu wawili tofauti. How are you managing to balance between these two?
I'm very calm in person. Kwa mtu mwenye hanijui nikikaa na yeye atakwambia mi I'm very calm. Lakini tukijuana, tukielewana, tutajua sasa mimi ndio nani. Yes.
Very interesting. Now, Paida outfits.
Yes.
Right. Tell us more about that and what you do. Introducing yourself. You've mentioned that you're a brand. So how would you introduce yourself?
My names are Aida, Maureen, Arunga. I'm a mother of two, Jason and Joseph, and I'm married to Paul Memakihara. My business is in Kirogoya, Kirinyaga County, but despite the fact that iko mashinani, we do deliveries countrywide. Tunapeleka mzigo Tanzania, the Lakeside, Kisumu, Western, Bungoma, kila mahali. I can say that the best part of my business is that I love doing what I am doing. I am passionate about what I am doing. That's why I'm here today. Kwa sababu kama singekuwa passionate na hiyo kazi, I'm very sure you could not have noticed me.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Yeah.
How is it like, you know, most of the time, mtu akiwa TikTok, anaonekana kama, huyo anakuanga content creator. You know, hiyo jina content creator, watu wameifanya imekuwa ni kama, we ni dancer, like you're just doing something on TikTok. Uli realize lini, I am the personality that you have, and how you can change that, kuifanya ikue means yenye inakupea do.
Sijaanza sai kukua creative. Kukua creative, I started when I was a small child. Sunday school nilikuwa naongoza pale poems. Tukaenda primary school, I was still doing music festival and drama. Tukaenda paka high school, bado nilikuwa drama queen pale. Watu wa Bishop Njenga girls, they used to call me drama queen kwa sababu hakuna music festival iliwahi nipita ama hakuna any kind of drama, and I was always the leader. I used to lead when it comes to such things. But masomo kidogo haikuwa inashika vizuri, lakini sasa ikikuja kwa hizo vitu zingine, I used to lead. So when I started in TikTok back in 2022, nilikuwa naifanya kama, let me say, content. Yeah, I was just doing content. For fun. It was just for fun. I've come to realize neza kufanya ikue kama biashara wakati niliona sasa I'm doing mtumba. And I came to realize, since I am in mashinani, I'm very sure kuna mtu mwenye ako pale tuseme Busia anaweza taka sana kulearn my business, but maybe hawezi akanifikia. Huyu mse atanifikia aje? Atanifikia through content. Ataona vile content yangu iko na atajua this is the right person to talk to, despite the fact that I am doing business. Ukikuja kwa hiyo page hautaboeka. That is one thing that I know. Hautaboeka. So kama wewe hautaki kuwa mtumba seller, at least you will learn that confidence is one thing that each and every person should have, because with confidence utauza hadi mawe. Yes.
Interesting. So wewe ukiampewa kitu yoyote uuze right now, wewe
utauza, hata wewe nitakuuza. Nitakuuza. Because I have the confidence. I am that one girl who truly believes in herself, who truly knows, I know my value. Na najua hakuna mahali penye siwezi enda na confidence. That is one thing that I've come to realize. Unapata most of the, let me say, CEOs, wako pale wamejificha tu mahali, wamedelegate work to some other people. Hawataki kujitokelezea. Wanajitokelezeanga wakati wenye maybe they have important meetings, ama wamekutana mahali wanaongea 1 2 3. But sasa mimi I've decided to come out with my character. Unaget? So that hata mtu akiwa mbali niko easily accessible. Asione tu niko na wasichana pale, anaona hapana, huyu mwenye ako hivi naweza mpigia tu simu mara moja na tukaongea. Yes.
So you're really in part of the business, you're in the business, part of the business, like uko hapo.
Niko hapo.
So before uanze kuuza mitumba, did you have other businesses that you're running? Ama this was your first business?
This was not my first business. Naweza sema kwanza I was employed at a microfinance. So wakati nilikuwa employed, nilikuwa nimekaa hapo for like 5 years. I started as a cleaner. This is a story that most people don't know. And I went to a receptionist. After being a receptionist, I went to a relationship officer. I was transferred from Nairobi to Kirugoya. I was a relationship officer. And then after 2 years, nilipatiwa tena promotion as a manager. So that is where I started gaining confidence that, kumbe hata kizungu ipelekangi mtu mbali sana. Ni confidence. It is confidence. That is one thing that I've come to realize. So after being employed for 5 years, I wasn't comfortable. Hata kama salary nilipata ya juu kiasi, I was not comfortable. I still wanted something of my own. And being married to CEO my husband alinionyesha ya kwamba hiyo yenye umeajiriwa haitoshi. Haitoshi. You still need to go an extra mile. So that's why I decided, since I am a lady, neza anza kuuza nguo za warembo. My husband gave me 70,000, nikaenda pale Isili, nikaanza kuchagua nguo za 300 to 50 and nikatafuta container pale Kirogoya, people they know that, na nikaanza kuuza. But it did not pick well. Haikupick well. Nilifanya tu 2 months. Na kwa sababu nilikuwa nimeajiriwa, after job I used to go there, nafungua naangalia kwanza ama pia Saturday or weekend ama wakati wa holiday. So I did not have much time for that business. And due to that it collapsed. So nikauza vitu zote hadi dummies, lakini sikurudishia mzee wangu hiyo pesa nilikula. So mpaka sahi right I know he's watching. So mpaka sahi ye ujuanga ati hiyo nilishikwa. Nilimwambia nilishikwa. Nilimwambia nilishikwa wakati yenye by the time nafaa niwe kwa ofisi nikashikwa, nilikuwa kwa kazi yangu. So I was told to choose between the two by my then HR. Is either you choose your work ama our work. So nilimdanganya nilishikwa and I had to close it. Ni ile aibu nilipata that this man has really supported me without even asking me how much have you gotten this week or today. Nikasikia aibu, mimi nikamwambia nilishikwa, nikauza dummies na kila kitu, nikakula pesa, nikarudi sasa kwa employment tena. Yes. So after some time tena I realized again bado nilikuwa na washwa. You see, when God wants you to do something, he makes sure that you are not comfortable wherever you are. Naget, I was not comfortable. Tena nikamuingiza box. Nikamwambia daddy, nataka kuuza hizi nguo za rompers na nimetafuta Kirogoya mzima, hakuna. Ni mtu mpole, hawezi akakuuliza maswali. So maybe alikuwa na issues 1 to 3, but he never asked me anything. Akaniambia, how much do you want? Nikamwambia, just give me 5,000 for a start. This time round I was very cautious. I did not ask for more. I asked for 5,000. Just give me 5,000. Niende pale Gikomba nichague 1 to 3, nione kama itajipa this time round. So nilienda nikachagua vitu za 5,000 and I started selling. After work bado nikarudi pale. So this time round I was very very keen and I was very very much dedicated. And I was ready even to resign. Juu sasa niliona na nilikuwa najipatia pressure and I was not comfortable. So fortunately it picked so well because this was an unique item pale Kirogoya. Nobody was selling this item. So it picked, but not automatically, with so much marketing and being consistent. Yes.
That is a very important lesson. So much confidence and being consistent. The story is interesting, from being a cleaner to being a manager to now you want to get into your business.
Yeah.
And another interesting thing, you know, some of us had decided that, you know, this marriage thing had to find tena. But nasikia there are the people who are supportive in this generation.
They are.
So wewe kwako, how has it been like him supporting you through building your career to now you're selling belts hata kwenda Tanzania?
He has always been there. He has always been there financially, mentally, emotionally. He has always been there. This is the one man that I can vie for because hakuna ile siku nyamwai niuliza pesa yako inaendanga wapi. Never. But sasa this time round I had to give results to show him that this is what I've been getting. Kwa sababu hata wakati nilikuwa nafanya deliveries, nilikuwa nauzia after work, naenda nauza hapo kwa kibanda, open air market, and then jioni nilikuwa naenda nauza TikTok. You get? So I did not know these places. I was naive. Sikuwa najua Marsabit ni wapi. Sikuwa najua Kajiado ni wapi. So he was the one who used to do the deliveries for me. So ikifika Monday anateremka nazo Nairobi. And maybe they are just 3. anateremka nazo Nairobi.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. So having a support system yenye inakusupport your friends, your family was another push for you in the business.
Sure.
Now let's talk about growing through TikTok. How has the journey been like for you?
The journey for me in TikTok, let me say it has been smooth. Kwa sababu hii Kenya, I think watu wanataka wenda wazimu kama mimi. Me, that is one thing that I know. Hii Kenya watu wanataka watu wenda wazimu kama mimi. Plus people get tired seeing you posting one item every day. Every day. Posting one item every day. Na ujue si kila mtu anataka hizo vitu zako. Una get? And I came to realize there is a part of these people that love my character. Wanapenda vituko zangu. So it has been smooth. Mi siwezi sema nimepata shida na TikTok. Hapana. It has been smooth. Very smooth. Yeah.
Let's talk about sales. You know, every business kitu important kwa biashara. Unaweza kuwa unauza anything, unaweza kuwa uko na biashara kubwa and you're not making sales. So how do you do your sales on TikTok? Is it from live? Is it how do you do your sales?
At first, I as I told you, marketing is very, very much important. And see marketing mara moja. Ati leo ukimarket, sasa you just sit down and say, I've marketed like Paida, now I'm waiting for results. No. It is not just a one thing time. It is being consistent. Even if nobody will see what you have posted today, tomorrow, someone else will see. Kesho kutwa, kuna mtu mwingine ataona. Na amekuwa akitafuta that item for so long. Na atapata hiyo page yako. Una get? So for me, when it comes to sales, sorry. When it comes to sales, most of my sales comes from live. Live ya TikTok, and of course most of the sales ya kuuza bills mingi sana, again it comes from that live, because it is through that live nitauza duvet, mtu akuwe interested na that bill, aniambie Paida, hiyo bill ya duvet ni how much? Nimwambie it's only 16,500. na anaweza kupata aje? Namwambia nipigie simu 0718506301. Tomorrow that client atanunua hiyo bill.
So you get orders if you're having the live, you showcase them, unazionyesha kama ni nguo unavaa, and orders zikienda as you go.
Yes, and not only TikTok. People forget that we have so many ways to market. So many applications to use to do marketing. So not only that I do marketing on TikTok, but I am very loudly in Facebook. Utapata na post kwa Reels, na post kwa zinaitwa status za Facebook, na post stories za Facebook, na post hata on the daily basis. I keep on posting everywhere, because one day I asked myself, what if today TikTok ifungwe? Leo hii TikTok ikifungwa nitafanya aje? Na mimi nimeangalia kazi yangu yote kwa TikTok. I'm fully depending on that TikTok. What if tomorrow tuseme our president amwe TikTok nimeona
in Kenya.
Not in Kenya. How will I survive?
Right. So you decided to diversify across, is it just Facebook and TikTok, ama it's across
Facebook,
all
TikTok, WhatsApp, IG? Though I'm not so loud on IG, but I try as much as I can to be loud.
Do you have, having experienced all of them, uko na preference yati this one ina work better than this one, or they're just zote ziko balanced?
Zote ziko balanced. But sasa mimi watu wengi walinijulia through TikTok. So I make sure that niko very consistent kwa hiyo TikTok, because ukilala leo, kesho kutwa kuna mtu ako mbio yako hiyo TikTok anauza mtumba, anataka akushinde. Una get? Kwa sababu sisi mtumba sellers ni kama tunajuananga sisi wote. So if you sleep today, there is a newbie running akushinde wewe. Competition. And competition is very healthy, by the way. So I make sure hata kama sita post 4 ama 5, I make sure at least nimeweka 1 ama 2. Yes.
Daily. You mentioned consistency. and right now you mentioned confidence, consistency, and it brought us to competition. So how do you keep yourself standing out? You TikTokers ni wengi, watu wengi wanauza, kina sijui anaitwa Jesali, kina, there are so many.
There are so many.
How do you stand out?
For me, I think, apart from being a mtumba seller, I came to realize, niko na kale ka character kenye watu wanapenda sana. So unapata I get more followers on the other side. Na on the other side, wakiona pia nauza mtumba, I also gain followers from that side. Yes.
So it's about you brought out your personality.
My personality.
Most business people ama a challenge any online platforms huleta ni ati inafanya mtu ana feel I'm talking to a robot ama ana feel this is fraud because hakuna that humanity in it. So bringing out humanity, made to understand it's bringing more followers on your side. So throughout your journey from 2022, right? You've said 2022 when you began being active.
Yeah.
So throughout that journey, what is the biggest challenge enye ili kuface ukasema ina imenigonga?
As for me, as I say, for the newbies, wanakuanga na expectations high sana kwa mtumba. Not forgetting that we don't pack those items. Zinakujanga zikiwa packed. So sisi ni kulearn tumelan. So unapata mtu akona so much expectation ya kuuza kama Paida. Paida, I want to be like you. It's okay. You will be like me. So unataka bill gani? Nataka the cheapest bill, sawa. Sahi kuna mvua, I can give you a bill of 9,000. Uende uze. Uyo mtu, kwa sababu ameona nikiuza, anataka tu fungu ya TikTok account, wewe 100, 150, 200, 300, hamnunui. The following morning, uyo customer atanipigia mara 100. Niliingia nikapata viewers wawili, nifanye aje? Paida, do you pay ads to on your TikTok? Nifanye sasa una shindo huyu customer, utamwambia aje? Kwa sababu huyu customer amenunua for the sake ya kuuza kama Paida. Una get? So hajui, yeye amenijulia sahi nikiuza sana. Hajui kuna mahali penye nilianzia. Hajui hiyo jani.
Kuna mahali ulifail.
Kuna mahali nilifail. Yeye anataka tu kuanza kama anataka kuanza na kupick kama mimi. So those are the most challenges that I get. You find I get so many calls. How do I do it? How do I market? Na namwambia, do you see the way I market? You might not market like me. But just do it. Just market.
Be unique.
Just be unique. Find something that is not common in your area.
And go for it.
And go for it.
You know, Aenda, most watu wengi wenye wanaanza kuuza mitumba huwa wanakuwa na hii challenge ya hawajui niseme
to maneuver.
Wajui kumaneuver their ways through Gikomba. Wewe ukianza, how was it like for you?
For me, it was challenging because I had no connections. I had no experience. Niliingia na miguu na kichwa na mikono nikaingia nikadive. So I learned so many things along the way. Plus mimi ni mtu mwenye natakanga kujua inatoka wapi. Yani nakuanga so curious. Si ati nikipata bill I just relax na niseme I miss sasa nimepata hii bill sasa ya rompers. Wacha niuze. I was so curious to know where do these people get those bills. And I was so lucky because hakuna mtu mwenye anaanzanga tu kazi bila watu wa kumshika mkono. I was so lucky. I have good friends of mine. Akina Shiro wa Mtumba, akina Casey wa Mtumba Bills. I have so many close friends. Wenye hata wakiniona I'm not doing that. Hata nisipopost leo, Casey will call me. Paida, are you okay? What are you doing? I have learned something through them. They started long way back than me. but mimi kuangalia I have learned something na kujua. Plus let me tell you, kupata mtu mwenye atakwambia hizi mitumba zinatoka wapi wewe, haki ni ngumu. Unajua hiyo ni siri, hiyo ni siri ya biashara. Mimi nikiamua kusema hapa kila kitu hapa, nitapata biashara kweli? Siwezi nikapata biashara, si ndio? But I was so lucky. Let me tell you, when God wants you to win, he will make sure atakufikisha mahali penye unataka. He will make sure, he will use 1, 2, 3, 4 to lay information to you,
connecting you to the right people.
He will connect you to the right people. He will give you the right resources. He will make sure hata kama ni kwa ndoto atakupatia hiyo ndoto. Hizo mizigo utatoa wapi?
Okay, very interesting. Now, I'm sure most this show mostly kuwa na young people wenye wanataka kuanzisha biashara, wengine wako na ideas, and most of them tune in just show ikiisha, maybe aende afungue biashara or ame add value to what ako nayo to improve their business. So if you're having such a person in your life, how would you advise mtu mwenye anataka kuventure into business ya mitumba?
As kwanza, first of all, naweza kuambia mahali penye nimefika, I have students. Niko na students wa mtumba wenye nimekwambia pia mimi nilishikwa. So now it's my turn to give back kushika mtu mwingine. I have so many students. Akina Terry wa mtumba, akina Twinware, niko na watoto wengi. So I make sure that for example, nakuuliza uko na budget ya pesa ngapi? Unaniambia 60,000. My aim si ati ni make sure hiyo 60,000 imeisha. Hapana, ni kujua your environment. Do you know you can have a lot of money na hiyo pesa iishie yote kwa kazi na usipate hata profit. But if you have the right person, she or he will tell you, do not use that money, the whole of it. Just use like 10% of it or 20% of it. Ikishika, and that's what I tell my people. Ikishika, now we can add 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
What do you see to be the future of mitumba business here? Like anything, ikwe dresses, ikwe belts, sheets, and all that. What do you see the future of mitumba business to be like?
Ujue sahi kwanza, mimi wakati niliingia kwanza watu wengi walisema sitatoboa because the market ilikuwa flooded. It was so flooded. So right now kila mtu anauza mitumba. Everybody. But wewe ukiingia na hiyo aim kirogo ya kuna mtu, kila mtu anauzanga mtumba, mimi nitatoboa. Ukiingia na hiyo mindset, hutatoboa. Kila mtu anakuanga na journey yake special. You might beat someone who has an experience of more than 10 years. Na wewe uingie hapo, na uko 3 months and you beat that person with just one thing, kakitu kamoja tu hivi. Na maybe ukaweza kalisha huyo msee chini umwambia kwa kakitu kamoja, pia yeye anaweza funguka sana akili. Una get? So naweza sema future ya mtumba iko great, iko sawa kabisa. And I'm seeing so many young ladies wanaingia kwa hii business ya mtumba. It's because number 1, it's affordable. It's cheaper. But also
inaweza kuchoma.
It's affordable to start. It's cheaper. It's one of the most affordable business you can start with. But also, you can go through so many losses, so many of them, if you're not careful. And kama supplier wako is greedy. Because unaweza pata that bill is 10,000, but supplier wako anakuambia ni 15,000. Kabla uuze hiyo nguo ufikishe 15,000 ya pesa enye ulinunua nayo mzigo, ndio uanze kupata profit. Utasweat, you will sweat. Alafu utaanza kusema
mtumba haiwaka,
acha niachie kina Paida mtumba, mimi sitaweza. Yeah.
Alafu as we conclude, kumekuwa na complaints about government supporting businesses, government sijui kufunga mitumba in the country. From where you sit, how has government policies affected your business?
Kwanza unaona vile nimevaa ingoni ya mtumba. Not everybody will afford those new clothes. Naona si kila mtu ata afford kwenda kununua nguo ya 1500 ama ya 2000. Look at the people staying in slums. Huyo mtu hata kupata chakula ni shida. Naona hata tu mazingira enye anaishi ni ngumu na ni mbaya. Utamwambia aje anunue kwanza nguo ya 1500. Ndio sasa maisha yake. Even the housing itself, unapata hata wengi wanalipa hata 1000. Kwa sababu ya vile wanaishi. So, na kama government ingekuwa imesema ifungwe, ingekuwa ishafungwa kitambo. Kwa nini haijawahi fungwa mpaka sahi? It's because so many people depend on mtumba or selling mtumba to feed their families. So many. Like every market you go, in each and every market you go, 70% of that market is mtumba sellers. Yes.
And second hand.
And second hand.
Kuna this nini ya China invading mitumba. Is it also a challenge in the business?
For me, it has not affected me. Haijani affect vile. Kwa sababu we are still selling. We are still making. Na sidhani kama itafika hapo. Juu ingekuwa imefika hapo, si kitu ilianza kitambo, ingekuwa ishafungwa.
Mngekuwa mshaifeel in the market.
Yes.
Now, as we conclude, please share with us your final words and your socials, how people can reach you, how people can get to buy the outfit.
I would like to tell anyone there, never give up in your life. Never ever give up in your life. Na huwa anashinda nikiambia watu, that small idea that you have, never take it for granted. Be it kuuza njugu, be it kuuza juice, be it kuuza fruits, be it kuzungusha simsim kuuza. Never ever. Usiwe chukulie hiyo idea ivo. Make sure that at least make that idea into existence. Afadhali kuanzisha kitu ikose kujipa, other than ungekosa kuanzisha hiyo kitu, maybe your millions could have been unlocked through that idea. So whatever the idea that comes in your mind, it might be from God. Start it. You can get me through my social media handles, Paida Outfits kwa TikTok. My username is @AidaArunga, and also you can get me on Facebook, Aida Arunga. You can also get me on Instagram, Aida Arunga. Na pia ujue kuna cons, so make sure that ukiangalia pale kwa Paida Arunga, I have more than 300,000 followers. Make sure that ni mimi, kwa sababu kuna watu wanatumia picha yangu kusema ni wao. And my phone numbers 0718 506 301. Nitarudia tena 0718 506 301. Ukinipigia utanipata mimi. Sina PA ama nini. I am the direct contact of my business. Ukinipigia utanipata mimi. You can either call me or WhatsApp me.
Very interesting. Now that is Paida, and you know, she has said, remember, amesema, she has students. She supplies across Kenya also. So if you're interested in mitumba, if you want to have a bell, and she is also legit. So leaving frauds alone, leaving all those people who lie to you that wanauza bells and wanauza viraka, which are tied. So you can get her, it's authentic, at Paida Outfits, having 306.7 followers. So if you see anything less than that, that is not Paida. So it's 306.7k followers, and you can people DM you?
Yes, they can.
Yeah, you can also DM her if you are interested in knowing about her business, or if you're interested in making purchases, or if you're interested to being her student, you can also call her. I think there's a number on her page, CEO Paida Outfits.
Yes.
That is the number there. So that is Aida, thank you so much for making time for us this morning.
Sana.
It is very interesting to have you. Just before we conclude, I will read a few feedback. Your people are really following you. We have Norio, Norio P001. She says, hello, mrembo wetu ye.
Asante.
And we have also Eliza Kinyanjui saying, hello, Aida, tuko ndani from Kerugoya.
Thank you.
Even Instagram.
Asante.
So you have people who are really supporting you, and it's very interesting for a business. So that is Aida, who is joining us this morning. This is KUTV. Coming up after the break is Mathematics in Education, and we'll be joined by Gideon Warimbo, who is also in studio with us this morning. So that is a discussion that we'll be having shortly after this break. And also, before we go for the break, one thing we're getting from Ida is that if you're having a business idea, go for it and harness that social media account of yours. Let it help you make profit. Don't just be there dancing and it's not helping you. You're not making profit. Harness that social media account of yours and make it help you move forward in terms of finances. See you after the break.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mukwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia,
they find it quite strange talking to you.
You should just make schools integrated,
inclusive setups,
by providing the right facilities.
Na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha Mwanamke Mwake nami Caroline Kimweli.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground.
In a world where uncertainty rules and opportunities are scarce, it's time to break from the barrier and unlock your full potential.
We must live within our means. We cannot spend money that we don't have.
We will explore the fascinating world of investment, trade secrets, business strategies and entrepreneurship.
Sasa challenges ziko mingi sana. Parking ya mzigo imekuwa mbaya. Unaweka pesa yako inakataa kurudi.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, what you covered with invaluable insights to help you succeed.
Now, this year we have seen a rebound in the economy, which is well above the global average of the 3%.
Join me, Anyango Sylvia, every Sunday and Monday on KUTV News at 9, and let's turn your dreams into reality.
So my name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the CAFE project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Welcome back. Now, this is a discussion we've also been waiting for. Just what has just concluded, we have been having a discussion on how to leverage social media to our economic benefits. Everyone right now, okay, not everyone, almost everyone is having a social media account, be it Facebook, be it TikTok, be it Instagram, be it Twitter or X, as you may call it. Everyone is having a social media platform where they are involved in. And this is a time when everyone is using social media to help them make a living. If you're not going to be a web designer, if you're not going to be a graphic designer, if you're not going to be a writer, online writer, if you're not going to be an online marketer, then use it to your own benefit. Use it to market your business. Those are just some of the discussions that we've been having right here on the launch with Ida Arunga. And right now, joining me in studio is Gideon Walwimbo. Gideon, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm doing fine. I've been okay. I thank the Lord. Yeah, I've just woken up with the chilly weather. Yeah, sometimes it's good to experience different sides of something, like a coin, the way that it have got two sides. And I'm really grateful, and I'm just glad and really eager to kick off the conversation.
Interesting. Yes. How would you describe yourself, Gideon?
Well, I happen to be a person who wears many coats. I'm so inclined into mathematics. I happen to be running an organization that is called Accountancy Mathematics, which has actually been benefiting more than 100 high schools in Kenya. Beyond that, I'm also the chairperson of the National Online Mathematics Competition, the chairperson of the Mathematics Association of Kenyatta University. But now, outside the scope of mathematics, I also do other things like leadership, leading a number of organizations, and also beyond also the area of work, I'm also a son in a family of three.
Very interesting. That is very rare to hear someone saying I'm also a son. So I happen to be a person who also loves mathematics. So you get why I'm interested in this conversation, because
it must be great.
Yes, I also did maths in campus.
Oh,
so
great.
you get why I'm interested in this conversation. Sure. Now, before we get into understanding why maths is important, and right now we may seem biased because both of us love mathematics. So I hope we get balanced in it. So you've mentioned that you're the chairperson and CEO of various mathematics departments in this country, in Kenyatta University. So how do they operate?
In all those scopes of the organizations, they are there to empower people in mathematics. The one for Kenyatta University, that is the Mathematics Association of Kenyatta University, it majorly deals with campus students, in particular the ones that are in Kenyatta University. The other one, that is the National Online Mathematics Competition, that is like a subset of something, which is under the umbrella of Accountancy Mathematics, which is actually the organization that I run. So that organization, it is there to ignite passion and excellence in mathematics, especially to high school students.
How has it worked so far?
So far, I can say that the journey has been great, getting to learn many things and seeing it transforming from one person attending the sessions, even to 1,000+ people taking part in the online competitions, and even getting to have like a broad number of students getting into the program. So it has been great, and what I can say, what really fulfills me is to see lives and stories of people being changed. Because now I was actually doing an analysis of the people who have been there in the program. All that they say is that the program has been beneficial to me. It has impacted my life even beyond mathematics. It has actually aided me to see mathematics in a different angle. It has actually helped me to kill the fears in mathematics, because we say that if you don't kill mathematics, it is going to kill you. But we don't want that. We want
Very
the reverse.
interesting. If you don't kill mathematics, it's going to kill you. Now, on that same note, there is this proposal to make mathematics a subject that's not compulsory for learners. What's your take on that?
Well, actually, that is a conversation that has been ongoing, and actually is because we are in the initial stages of continuing with this interview. I would love to say that this conversation that we're having, you know, sometimes when we mention mathematics, people tend to tremble. You know, it is a word that comes with some fears, some anxiety, and sometimes we tend to think that this is a conversation for professionals. But it's important that we tell our audience that this is a conversation for everyone who is listening to us. Either you are a student, you are a teacher, you are a parent, because this is something that is affecting the life of your child. And if even for the youth who are here, because one day you'll be a parent, therefore this is a conversation that is for everyone. So if you are listening to us, make sure that you continue being in this conversation and continue sharing your thoughts and the questions that you have. Now embarking on the question about that proposal to remove mathematics. You know, when I first saw that, I was just somewhere, just swiping my phone. At first, I felt like maybe this is a meme. You know, Kenyans, usually, this is a joke. Yeah, seriously, I saw it like a joke. And then I went to just do my research. I went online, and I found like it is serious. And I'm like, well, I even lacked a word for that. Even right now, I've not yet fully comprehended that proposal. Because what that is doing, it is killing a lot of things. Just when I try to look that from different angles, from different fields, and from different spheres, I can say that personally, I feel like that was not the right move, and it's not a right move for that. For a number of reasons, for a couple of reasons, because, you know, mathematics is something that no matter how much we try to eliminate it, we can never get away with it. It's something that we usually use in our daily activities, in each and every field and in each and every activity that we do. Mathematics is something that is indispensable. It's just the same way like you can't live without oxygen. Yeah, how can you live without even mentioning numbers, without doing operations on numbers? How would we keep record of our time? How would we measure the growth that we are having? How would we measure the currencies and profits? You know, this is something that really needs consideration and an in-depth look into it before we make that move.
This is where we need to be balanced comes in. Okay, as for me and my family, mathematics will be compulsory. But, you know, mathematics has various topics in it.
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk about logarithms. Let's talk about calculus. Let's talk about longitudes and latitudes. Let's talk about numbers, number line. Let's talk, you know, all these things. So someone will ask you, how are they relevant in the day-to-day life of a young person?
Yeah, amazing. And actually, this is a question I believe that has been there for many years, and it's a great question. Yeah, because people have been asking, yes, I'm studying calculus, I'm studying quadratic equations, logarithms, adding so many complex numbers, doing complex mathematics, and all these things. And we wonder, when are we ever gonna use these things, or rather use these mathematics? And actually, this is now the right place to get an answer for that. You know, let's take an analogy of maybe a footballer, because I know that maybe our audience, a number of them love football. When you go there, watching football, you will see like a person kicking the ball with a lot of force, and then that ball accelerates with supersonic speed until it scores to the goal. But what you see there is actually the person kicking the ball, but and also you see the muscles of the person and the force that that person has used. But there are many things that you don't see. There are many things that do happen behind the scenes, and those are things like the practices, the sacrifices, going to the field, playing each and every day. The same thing to mathematics. You know what we see, and actually this is actually something that we really need to correct in this country. You know, the moment that we look at mathematics, like we pick a maths book, by the maths author. Once you pick a maths book, the things that we see here, they are numbers. But now mathematics goes beyond that, because mathematics, there are many things that mathematics gets to train us, but we don't see it directly. It's something like it's happening behind the scenes. You know, it's something like you see, like when you are cooking food, you usually have a number of ingredients. You have maybe your tomatoes, you have if you're cooking potatoes and rice, you have your potatoes, you have your rice. Yes, you can be able to see the potatoes, you can be able to see the rice, but there is one very important thing that you don't see, that food cannot be complete without, and that is salt. And that is the same thing with mathematics. There's something that it is doing behind your brain, and these are things like getting to develop things like perseverance, getting to develop your critical thinking skills, and getting to touch in the creative faculty of your brain. Like you see, the person who came before me, I was listening to the interview. It was top notch. I loved it. It was so awesome. Yeah, she said that one of the things that have helped her to grow is the art of posting every day, making sure that she's posting a post every day. Then if you are a mathematics person and you've cultivated the discipline of doing 5 sums a day, every day, and these are intriguing questions, then what would make you not have the discipline to post 2 times a day? You see, that is something that has been generated by mathematics. So mathematics is all about how you see it. You see, like when you look at something like a vehicle, maybe what you just see is the wheels, and you just see the whole body of the vehicle. But there are things that are happening behind the scenes. There is an engine turning. There is a lot of calculations that has been designed in there to ensure that the rotation causes the wheel to move at a certain angle and at certain revolutions, so that can counter to the speed. So there are many things that do happen behind the scenes, but now what we really need to do is to open up our eyes and to see the deep picture of mathematics, to see what really lies underneath that. So there are many things, there are many skills that gets to develop in a person's brain as you study mathematics. It's not just numbers, not just equations.
And a big one you've mentioned is the critical thinking. Okay, when in high school, you always learn about one discipline involved in another discipline, that is mathematics and business, mathematics and chemistry, mathematics in these other subjects. So from where you sit, how do you think mathematics is connected to all these other disciplines in education?
Wow, amazing. Yeah, most actually, it's a good mention on that. Yeah, it's more of like the salt. You see, like in each and every meal that you cook, regardless of whether it is maybe sukuma wiki, cabbages, whether it is potatoes and rice, and all these meals, what is there constantly, it is a salt. That is the same thing with mathematics. It is constant in all these fields. It is something that it is integrated in all these things. And you would really wonder what really makes it to be integrated in all these things. What makes it to be integratable to everything? It's because in each and every place, in each and every discipline, we always have a mention of numbers. You know, sometimes we usually tend to wonder what are really numbers are. You know, numbers like when we say about 2, 3, 1, it's something that actually started long time ago, even before you realized that numbers existed. Like, you know, like at home, usually have 2 kids that are there for my brother and my sister. You know, one is called Roy and one is called Rickson. There's a time that I went there with some snacks, and then I took 2 plates. I took the first plate, I placed it there, and another plate there. And then I just said, let me just do a random psychological test on these kids. On one plate, I placed 3/4 of the snacks, and the other one, 1/4 of the snacks. And then I told them, pick one. these are kids who don't know numbers. They don't have an idea of what mathematics is, and they even don't know whether there's something like 1 or 2 or 3. But you know what? They all went for the large proportion. But then how do we interpret that into numbers? Or rather, how do we interpret that in a way that people can understand? That's when we use numbers. Like before we started the interviews, I was keen and eager to listen to how you started. And one of the things that I realized is that you started with some numbers. You say that the percentage of people who are from 15 years to 35 years, they are 29% thereabout. And you see, that is something that you are bringing numbers on the table. Yet still, you are a journalist. Because there's a person who would wonder, like, how important is mathematics to a journalist? But you see, it is helping you to interpret that in terms of numbers. Yeah, the person who came before me, to measure whether he is the sales that is making, how profitable they are, which item is making more profit than the other. You see, she is using numbers. So it is something that is all across all fields. It is something that we cannot live without. That is our oxygen.
Very interesting. Something that we cannot live without. Now, in our day-to-day lives, you know, most people don't realize that they're interacting with maths. For example, you go to a place and you're told, now we are going to have factorial clubs. You know, someone just know, I'm going to count 3, 2, 1, you know, not knowing that it is part of mathematics in the curriculum. Now, from where you sit, how has mathematics been beneficial for you as a person? Okay, apart from being a mathematics author, how has it been beneficial to you as a person?
Yeah, amazing. This is great. What I see all across is mathematics numbers everywhere I go, to each and every association. Like currently I'm serving in different associations and organizations under different spheres, and each and every department that I serve, I use the element of numbers. And what have actually aided me to get into those spaces is what numbers have brought to me, because there are many things that are hidden in numbers. You know, as you've said that most of the times we don't realize interacting with numbers, yet we do interact with them. And sometimes you may wonder, why is that so? But it's because of how our brains are embedded, or how our brains function. You know, it is, there's a guy who is Ramon Weissajal in the year 1911. He brought the element of neurons and how they work, how they connect in the brain, and how all the brain is structured. You know, when you are learning mathematics, what you are doing is that there are some pathways of thinking that you are opening, but you see, you cannot see the activity that is happening in the brain, because it's something that is happening just at the back, the subconscious level of it. So what has that aided me is getting to build mathematical ability, and getting to build a strong mental thinking patterns, such that when possibly maybe having a certain challenge that I want to solve, well, because I've developed that amplitude and I've developed that in-depth of sitting with a problem for so long, and believing that every problem have got a solution. So that is something that also comes along with mathematics, among many other things.
Very interesting. Now you see, engineers have in the engineers body, they even have their magazine. Lawyers have their firms, they even have their president. Scientists have their organizations. Doctors have the organization, teachers. So for mathematics, is there an organization that is in place that can help push for either policies that favor mathematics in schools, in campuses, or make reforms on things that are proposed by the education sector? Is there an organization of mathematicians?
Amazing. Actually, that is something that really needs to be looked into. For the time that I've been there in the industry, what I've seen is that I've seen maybe different associations and organizations working independently, though, like the Mathematics Association of Nairobi University. Here we have the one for Kenyatta University. We have like accountancy mathematics, but there is no any particular organization that we can pinpoint that this is now the whole body of mathematics in Kenya. But I believe that that is something that needs to be looked into. Maybe I would claim that to many things. Maybe at Kenya, we've not yet gotten to a point where we really recognize the real value of mathematics, because if we did, then the government could be championing on that. But now, what are we doing? We are having discussions about chapati all over social media. But still, there's something that is very fundamental. Mathematics, we are not discussing about it. So what I can say is that we are, but the good thing is that we are making steps, because we have such organizations like Countersy coming together and bringing people together, educating them in mathematics, shaping their mindset, shaping their perceptions, and so on. So the good thing is, even though this journey will be long before we get to a point where everybody is fully convinced of the idea that mathematics plays a very great role in our lives, until we get to such a point, that's when I believe that Kenya will be ready to have like a whole body of mathematics. But that is something that I believe it's continuing to develop as we move on.
I would ask you to tell us what different should be done, because those who make policies, the decision makers, most of them actually did political science, most of them did human resource. So most of them, this thing, mathematics, they don't see it as impactful to their lives, as so mathematicians would say. But what do you think should be done differently, both by the education sector, by these associations that deals with mathematics, the policymakers? What do you think needs to be done differently in order to help bring up a generation that is keen on critical thinking?
Well, amazing. Let me suggest two things. The first one, the challenge actually starts to hit there. Having policymakers where mathematicians are not fully involved. You know, it's like Muslims coming up with some beliefs and some laws that Christians will be following, and Christians coming for the beliefs systems that Muslims are going to follow. You see, that does not get to intellect well. But if we have the people that are there in the industry, they have got a wide load of knowledge on the know-how of mathematics, they have really studied it in depth. If we have all these people being involved, then we would come up with policies that are actually even more powerful. And actually, you know, in each and every sector where a mathematician is ignored, that sector is on its way to failure. Why? Because you said that is something that is very integral. So even at policy level, when we are making all these policies, let us invite mathematicians on the table, even if it will mean having like a conference of mathematicians coming up with different views on how well we can be able to shape the policies, on how best we can actually come with the best policies for something. And actually, you see, there is no any country that can ever rise above the level of the quality of the policies that they have. Why? Because policies get to shape a lot of things. They affect how people will do things. They affect the laws. They affect the education system of a country. And the education system of a country, it is one of the most integral assets of a country, because it is through education system that we are able to create engineers, that we are able to make doctors. See, like a case, like see, in our country, like Kenya, see, we have got roads, but what do? We outsource engineers from outside, from China, to come and build our roads. Whereas, you know, an engineer, it is a term that connotes an architect, a creator, an innovator, and a problem solver. But what are our engineers doing? They are busy just maintaining the roads but not building. And what does that point towards to? It is actually refers us back to the education system. And how can we be able to make it better? Coming up with policies and involving the mathematicians, so that we can also be able to see different viewpoints of something. So the second thing that I would suggest is on the way that mathematics is taught, we really need to change the orientation of that, because I know that there are many mathematics teachers that are watching. I had shared with a couple of mathematics teachers so that they can be able to tune in, and I believe that we should be having a discussion also on how we can be able to teach mathematics in a more better way. You know, when people become, or rather when we go into the field of mathematics, that is when teachers go into that field, what many teachers think that in that field all that you are supposed to do is to be good in mathematics and also to be there to give many assignments, because that has been the culture, giving like 10 questions and telling the students to do, and coming up, marking, taking the PE lessons, taking the breaks, and taking each and every extra minute. Thinking that that is how we are driving and making mathematics better. But unfortunately, that's not all about mathematics. Mathematics should go beyond that. And actually the most integral and the most important part while teaching mathematics is to spark the curiosity in learners, and also to help them see the importance of mathematics. If you can be able to do those two things, you've created an engine, and you've actually given the student the fuel that they are going to use on that engine and vehicle that is going to carry them all along the mathematics journey. Why? Because when I do a lot of research, and when we actually do a lot of research, I believe that we would all agree to one thing, that most of the discoveries were done by people who went somewhere, they sat down, and they discovered things by themselves. Look like a guy like Albert Einstein. Look even like the person who actually in his deathbed, we are able to enjoy the fruits of his work. That is Thomas Edison, the one who discovered the lights. You know what he did is that he was alone just trying to discover. So if we could come up with a mechanism such that we are able to drive this thing into the learner, such that they can be able to discover things by themselves, they have curiosity, then we've actually hacked the system. And actually that is what is done in Japan. I was actually getting to study their curriculum and how they teach. You know what the teacher does is he comes up with a topic and then tells the learners to come up with, to start explaining how they understand about the topic. They start relating it to the world. Yeah, through that they are able to be more curious, to study on their own, to do more research, and even to develop their critical thinking skills.
Very interesting. Now, from where I see it, I understand that, you know, often mathematics is viewed to be a subject of people who are perceived to be intelligent or bright, but maybe or maybe not, the problem could be how we deliver the teachings to our students. Now, I think that our time is really not on our side, but as we conclude, please help us invite people for the contest, as you give them how they can get to be part of the contest.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. You know what we believe in accountancy mathematics is that mathematics is, let me share two things. One, mathematics is like a game, because it is a game of numbers. So people should come and play around with the numbers. It shouldn't be seen as something that is boring, something that brings anxiety. No, it's something that is supposed to bring a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, and that is why in accountancy mathematics we do things in a fun, in a very enjoyable manner. And the other thing is that mathematics is also a skill, and also it is more of actually of a science, and actually it is the cheapest science. You know, when you go to do the chemistry practicals, the physics practicals, you use some elements, that things that you do by like those chemicals, that wires, those light bulbs, and so on, and all these things. But now mathematics, for you to practice in mathematics, you just need to have a book. And actually there is a very great book that I would recommend, which is this one, Daily Mathematics Challenges, to imply that what you are instilling here is doing daily challenges such that you are able to calculate that culture. And also there is a magic book that is over here, which is called Mastering Mathematics Explained. You know, there are many people who want to pass mathematics, but they don't know how to go about that. Now, this is the magic book that is going to work for them, so they can be able to get all these books after this. For that, so the reason that we actually created the contest is so that people can come together in an online platform to just play with mathematics, to play with numbers, to experience the joy of it, and actually to share all this fun. And that is actually helping to shape how mathematics is perceived and how mathematics is seen. So that is actually our website. That is the online mathematics contest. So the website is actually accountancymathematics.co.ke. But you can also contact the number that is 0796957851 to be able to see, rather to be able to be guided on how you can be able to participate in the contest, which is alongside that we are also doing mentorships in high school. In high schools, we work with different schools across the country, just getting to share on mathematics, getting to ignite the passion, and getting to shape lives through that program.
Very interesting. Thank you so much, Gideon. And just before we conclude, we are having a number of feedbacks from that is our social media platforms. Those people are following us live. We have United Fellowship of All Saints. Following sure our generation needs wisdom. Without mathematics, no minds. Even kids who don't know number, Rick and Roy knows the plate which with much snacks. That is very interesting. And we have Faith Kariri say, keep winning, my little brother, mathematics all the way. That's your sister?
Amazing, yeah.
Okay, but you say you are a brother. You're a chairperson?
Yeah, I'm a chairperson in associations, and now I'm in a family where I'm the last born. That is the second born sister.
Very interesting. And also we have Still United Fellowship saying, these I've read, even my mind is now sharpened, my neurons are opened, sure mathematics is the future. Very interesting.
Amazing. Yeah, actually that is also another association that, actually it's not an association, but it is a movement for believers. It's called United Fellowship, that is led by Apostle Kevin Motuko. Yeah, just get to serve there as the coordinator for missions, and also in that aspect I also get to utilize the knowledge of numbers. So we use it everywhere, in churches, yeah, in businesses, in every field.
So your final words as we conclude. Should mathematics be compulsory or not?
Well, I think if I'm asked this question, I would say even when I'm asleep, when I'm not conscious, I'll say a million times, mathematics should remain compulsory. Look at countries like, I was studying this country that is China, where we get to outsource most engineers. Most engineers, they have got a population of 1.411 billion people there. You see, that is a huge percentage. It is almost a fifth of the total population on the whole world. But you see what is done there, mathematics is compulsory. It has been compulsory all along in all levels. Look, when you want to get a scholarship to go to any country, mathematics must be looked like how good are you in mathematics. So mathematics is something that is there central. So what does it mean to say mathematics will not be compulsory? What you'll be doing is that you'll be killing the visions of young people, will be really stealing their creativity, will be stealing their abilities to come up with solutions to problem, will be actually be killing the future of our problem solvers. And there are many things that we are killing as a country. So this conversation, and I hope that it will get to the education, to the Ministry of Education, so that they can reconsider this. Because actually when, yesterday there is another program that we're having, it's called the Visionary Network, where we are having young people who are from County. The last year's KCSE that was done, we had like almost 1,000 people who graduated from the program, and then we put them in a WhatsApp group. So yesterday I was asking them, what are your views about mathematics being made not to be compulsory? And you know what they did? They told me, you know what, we are behind you. If you call us for Mandamano, we are going to come.
To make mathematics compulsory.
And I had to tell them, oh, wow, let's just, that's a good thing, but let's just hold the brakes a little bit, and let's try to engage the government in a more better way. So after this, I'll see on how we can be able to write like a whole proposal, sending to the government, and I hope that the government will be willing to listen to us, to listen to the voice, and to act to it.
Very interesting. Thank you so much, Gideon. And to our gentle viewers at home, this has been On the Launch with Gideon. So much coming up after this, and we'll be having newspaper review, so please stay tuned for more on that.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepopa si vuguvugu. Pepopa ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili. Hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more, only on Law Matters.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii, na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuwini. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimweli.
So my name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Welcome back. Now, very interesting discussions. We've just concluded them right here on KUTV, leveraging social media to improve cells and the role of mathematics in our society, or the importance of having mathematics in our curriculum, whether it should be compulsory or not. If you missed that, then you need to go back kidogo usikize. But before you go back there, we have a very interesting discussion right now with our very own Ojwang Mariam. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. This is a newspaper review. For a minute, I thought that today, ulitu snob.
I nearly sent a text to my maths teacher.
Have your mic, Ojwang.
Sorry. I nearly, bado yangu naiambia, niko na lapel sasa juu nimeingiza mao. I nearly texted my maths teacher and to ask, hapa ni wapi? Mwalimu wa maths, hapa ni wapi?
Before we continue, Ojwang, do you think maths should be compulsory or not?
Math, acha nikuambie. Sijawahi kataa that maths kuwa ngumu kwangu. But maths is a must for everyone. You live maths, you sleep maths, even when you die, bado tunakupigia hesabu. Then why are you telling us that we should not be having mathematics? Hata kama wataka unitoe hapo uniingishe TVET, nifanye plumbing, as long as we need sustainability, we need to have skills to do with maths in everything. Ndo ukipiga hesabu yako si ni shilingi na ingine. Nilisikia ukiwaambia mambo ya factorial, people huko nje wanakuwa confused na mambo ya factorial. Juu ni maths bado. You can't escape maths.
You can't escape
from
maths.
the point yenye a sperm had to add 1 + 1 with an oval for you kuwe created. Wewe na maon ndoa yenu ilianza hapo hivyo. Wewe na boyfriend, wewe na bwana mmepatana mao ikiwa hapo hivyo.
Very interesting. So when your family maths will be compulsory. No, John. We are looking at our papers this morning, and let's begin by standard. You know, standard is a darling of the people.
They have set the standard.
They are setting the standard. Now, the biggest headline on Standard this morning is Goons on Rampage. A growing wave of targeted attacks against government critics is spreading across the country, defying the very essence of law and order. The perpetrators, bold goons, often chant slogans in support of the top politicians as police stand and watch. This trend has raised concern that Kenya's democratic space is shrinking, with dissenting voices facing greater threats. So they've had a number of people who are on the front page. We have the funeral of Bibirioni village. That was Rigathi Gachagua. We have Salasia. We have ex-Mungiki leader. So this is a growing trend. And I know I'm not supposed to ask for your opinion because your opinions are so long. But let me just ask you, Juan. Should we be worried as a country when it comes to democracy of airing our views, the freedom of speech?
I'm not worried about democracy of this country. I say this time and again. If we still have a constitution yenye hata ikiwa mutilated aje, bado kuna mtu usimama anasema na hapa ya kwamba hii katiba nitailinda. I cannot be worried about that democracy. As long as people went out in the streets in the year 2024, rejected a bill that had been passed in the first reading and second reading and was awaiting presidential assent, but Kenyans still said no, I cannot be worried about our democracy. It's time that we need. Everything is aligning. It's time that we need, and democracy will have its win. Wanasemaga, majority have their way, and minority have their say. That's democracy. Kila mtu akona say. Unapata kama saizi goons go on rampage. Wewe ukitokea useme kitu nzuri like usifu mtu. Si useme kitu nzuri, usifu mtu. There are terms that are being used. In town in Nairobi utasikia mbwegze, mbwegze, mbwegze. If you hear mbwegze, no, Sakaja is roaming around and he is smiling with his dimples. But ukitokea pale hivyo useme haiwak, 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 you are termed as a criminal and you will be facing abductions, being held incommunicado. But if you are praising, inakuwa ni kitu ingine. Who are these people that we are calling goons? It's you and I, Sylvia. It's our fellow youths. Leo ukitokea umelipwa 200 umeambiwa kuna game ya Kenya na Gabon. We don't want to see that shaggy-haired gods must be crazy MP Peter Salasia. What do you do with him? Deal with him. Umepewa 200. Nani hao wanamfukuza? Inasemekana ni watu wa baba. You are still a youth. At that particular point, your job assignment ni goon. Kesho utaamka uitwe na mwingine uambiwe leo tunataka uingie Fifiro ine. This is Fifiro ine in Limuru where there was a funeral. Unaambiwa ingia huko, nenda piga youths wenzako, unapewa 500. These goons are us. But a day is coming yenye tutafunguka macho. Shida yetu ni hatujafunguka macho. Unapewa 500, unajua huyo mwenye amekupea 500 ukapige mtu ama ukatusi mtu ama ukaribu mkutano, yeye ameingiza how much? Sasa hiyo ameingiza millions using you. That day is coming when youths wanaendelea kufile enyewe tunabeba ufala. Utapata wazazi wetu na wenye wako juu yao walikuwa wameteka mtu kara ila kama Mungu. Huyu ni baba akisema right ni right. Sisi ndio same people tunaambia baba kitakuramba ukiingia huko nini AUC anakataa kusikia, anasema mimi ndio baba. Some people call Raila Odinga semi god. Unaingiaje na unashindwa na mtu hapa tu? a foreign affairs minister,
And you know
when a former prime minister.
Mhm.
So times and conversations are changing. We'll move from headlines kama guns go on rampage. Once tutaweza kuleta food security in our country, kila mtu anakula, ni itakufanya utumie 200 utoke hapa uende Mathare ukapigane. Haya kuna.
Very interesting. You've mentioned something on food security, and on the Standard still, the business page says US warns on Kenya's food security. That is on page 33. Let's take a look at that. You know, something interesting that Gideon mentioned, the previous discussion that we are having, is that this country, we shift our focus from having important conversation to talking about chapatis. And you know, US warns Kenya's food security at risk despite increased output. Report by Agriculture Office says a country will have to depend on grain imports, household to face financial pressure as global commodity prices remain volatile. So it is raining right now, but as a country, we've always been depending so much on imports. I don't know what the problem is or where the problem could be, that we cannot do our own food. We have the land, we have the rain, we are blessed as a country, but still, in one way or another, we still depend on external inflow of food, that is imports. So this is a concern from where you sit.
Gideon ametoka hapa hivi akasema that no country rises above her policies. Policies zetu ndio mbaya. Shida ni sisi. Can I ask a question na watu wasiseme mimi mzee sana? When we didn't have these fertilizers, what were our forefathers doing? Walikuwa wanachukua kama ni maganda hizo maize zenye zimebaki, wanazitengeneza mahali, wanatengeneza compost manure na inatumika. Saizi wanataka wasemee ukulima hauendelei vizuri hapa nchini Kenya kwa sababu hatuna fertilizer. Waziri wa kilimo Mutahi Kagwe saa hii anataka kuambia watu ati atawape fertilizer inakuja hii ya free. Na Wakenya wako mahali wanasema sisi hatuwezi endeleza ukulima. Tunangojea kijana wetu Mutahi Kagwe atulete nini? Fertilizer. Hii fertilizer ikifika mnaambiwaje ndo wewe upate fertilizer? There are policies that must be met. Tunataka upande mbegu za aina hii ama mbegu za aina hii. Hizi mbegu zinakuwa ni GMO. So fertilizer ni ya kukuja, ni ya kutengenezwa, kwenye inatengenezewa seeds the same. Mkishapanda hiyo seed huwezi rudisha. So utarudi bado kwa Mutahi Kagwe umwambie Kagwe hatuna seeds, hatuna fertilizer. There is no food security there. Kitambo shosho yangu kwetu kule Laikipia alikuwa anapanda waru, zikisha mea time ya kuharvest anachukua kama kasuku moja anaweka kando of the best. Anasema hizi ndo mbegu tutapanda next time. Na next time mazao yanakuwa mengi. But saizi unakuwa wewe unapewa seeds. Hata tuseme unauzwa bei cheap, unauzwa seeds bei cheap, unauzwa fertilizer. Next harvesting season you do the same. Where is sustainability there? But if we go back to our communities and tell them we have to create policies that favor us as a people, not them as the political class or the government as they call themselves. Ndio tutoke kwa hiyo situation yenye watu wanasema I'm proud of my country, that's why nitatokea game ya Kenya na Gabon, but I'm ashamed of my government, that's why nitasema Ruto must go.
Very interesting. Now, I am taking us through the headlines on the Business Daily, and then after that, you'll take us through the headlines on the Daily Nation in 2 minutes at most.
2 minutes.
So, Treasury to repay 11 billion loans with Eurobond cash. And this, remember, a week before last week, the last batch of the Eurobond to be released, that is around 500 million, was halted. So it was a fresh deal, a plan to sign a fresh deal for the Eurobond. I think this will now be borrowing to pay the loans that are due. So that is something that is given prominence on the Business Daily. Also still on the Business Daily, US says red tape leaks hurting Kenya's financial crimes. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution ODPP has been thrust into the spotlight after the US government say that bureaucracy and information leaks were hurting the fight against financial crimes, including money laundering. And this mostly, I will attribute this mostly to M-Pesa and these mobile lending platforms that we are using. Yesterday, very own Laban at NTV did a story on M-Pesa agents being their money stolen, their float, is it float? Yeah, stolen by the agencies who they are under. After working with an agent for like 10 years, then anakuibia almost 160,000 Kenyan shillings. When you report to the police, they just give you an OB number. You report to Safaricom, nothing is done, meaning they are aware of this thing going on. So there's an alert on these cases where information leaking to maybe DCI or any of that, leading to crimes, financial crimes. Still on the Business Daily, Trans-Century taps KPMG in Equity Bank debt restructure plan. Investment firm Trans-Century has tapped audit and consultancy firm KPMG as it seeks to plan to clear $2.5 billion, that is around $20 million loan due to Equity Bank of Kenya. And also Nairobi Prime go down, rents flats on manufacturing wars. So rental charges for prime warehouses in Nairobi have stagnated. New tracker data shows hit by slow industrial growth. We have been complaining in the country for a very long time that the economy is not doing well. On the other hand, our CS is telling us the economy is growing, and now we are seeing that the rates of manufacturing, should I call them stalls? Those in the industrial parks and all that, most of them are stalling. I saw a friend who was been advertising a stall for like 2 months, haiendi. Anasema, oh, there's a business park, we are having affordable prices, haiendi. Because people are shifting from having their businesses or their companies run in Kenya. So those are just a number of stories, some of the stories that are on the Business Daily today. So if you want any more on that, you can get the story. A quick one, please take us through the Daily Nation.
The Daily Nation wameka politics kama headline ndo iko juu. It's about Uhuru's 26 billion CBC blunder delays. Mr. Kenyatta and his education and treasury CSs ignored warning. A 25.8 billion World Bank project to build school infrastructure launched during former President Uhuru Kenyatta's second term has returned to haunt President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza administration as learners continue to suffer, with taxpayers now to pay for the past mistakes of state officials. Policies bado zitakuhaunt. Kama ni mbaya leo, kesho na kesho kutwa. Ini policy on our education inatuhurt. Hapo hivyo bado wanaongezea from power to prison. Nani wameweka pale hivyo is a man mwenye alisema mimi kutoka leo ni baba yao. So the former governor of Kiambu, Ferdinand Waitito, went and had an affidavit and had his official name changed to Waitito Ferdinand Babayao Waitito. Now he has moved from Babayao to prisoner. What I have learned about life and friends, he's about to release a book. I wish itakuwa noma kuliko ya John Kiriamete. Former Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waitito has grown tired of the monotonous head counts before daybreak, in the afternoon, and at sundown during the warders shift changes. Kila asubuhi amechoka kuitwa baba yao, anapanga line kila jioni baba yao. Amechoka sasa, anatafuta mawakili wenye watamsaidia kupush bond, apate bond ndo watoke aweze kukesi nje. Amekuwa charged na amekuwa sentenced 12 years imprisonment. Anasema hey,
kitoka huko unapata your wife was married again.
Yeye mjalisha mtu kawa Waitito. He's a Kikuyu man, wealthy, and I'm sure with a number of wives.
Okay. Now, Ojwang, because we're still on you, please give us your final remarks as we close this.
Asante. I would love kuweka my final remarks on mambo na education. Access to education or basic education is a fundamental right to every Kenyan citizen. So when I hear KUPPET coup on NAT as 46,000 junior school teachers join union, nakuwa niko worried na shangaa, what's the future of our children who are in school when fahali wawili wanapigana, NAT na KUPPET. KUPPET iliundwa kama kitu ya kumaliza NAT. Kumaliza NAT nguvu. Sasa walimu wanatokea, nyinyi mnasema tunataka hivi, na hao wanasema hapana, sisi tumesema hatutaki, kichele yetu ishaingia. Huo mvutano, policies haziendelee. Sikia vile wanasema. The Kenya Union of Post Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET, has received a huge boost as 46,000 junior school teachers who were recently employed by the government are set to join the union. There is a lot of worries about hawa walimu. Wewe umeingia mwalimu, umefanya P1 or P2, umefunzwa kuwa mwalimu wa primary, unafunzaga either Kiswahili CRE, then siwe ni mwalimu wa JSS, unaambiwa enda ufunze mtoto wenyewe chemistry yenyewe wameishi kusema hiyo chemistry hapana. Unaambiwa ufunza mao, wewe umezoea Kiswahili na CRE. Wenye unafunza mao ni mtoto mwenye anasema mimi niko form 1 junior high school, which we are calling grade 8, niko form 1 niko grade 9. Unaona, haujui mao, haujui chemistry, haupendi mao, unasikiaga kina Gideon unasema gigi leo wameleta ule jamaa wa mao, yet umekuwa tasked na kufunza more than 50 students mao, uwape basics za high school. That cannot happen. Ukifika home juu uko jeni na shida zako, haulipwi fiti juu hajui kama wewe ni mwalimu wa primary ama wa high school, mara hawajui kama uko NAT ama uko KUPPET. The government, please don't joke with the future of your children, because when you are old you will be living in guilt, under stress and depression, and you'll want to kill yourself seeing a future that you wasted. Let our children go to school. Let our children have access to education because it's their right. Asante sana mama.
Thank you so much, Ojwang. Now that brings us to the end of KUTV Biashara Tuesday this day. And before we close, I'd like to remind you that reimaging the future of higher education in Kenya for a sustainable learning ecosystem is a discussion that we'll be having on Friday at Kenyatta University Amphitheatre from 10 a.m. All the way to where it will end. So that will be a public lecture that we'll be having with Professor Raphael Munavu right here on KUTV. So if you will miss or if you will not find a chance to join us live on KU Amphitheatre, please make sure you tune in on KUTV because we will also be live streaming in the public lecture. So that brings us to the end of KUTV Biashara Tuesday today. Thank you so much for being part of these great discussions that we have been having since 7:30 a.m. this morning.